How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the TacomaBeast channel. Today we find ourselves in Baja Sur, California, Mexico, and we're gonna be doing a build walk around my second gen Tacoma. I know you guys have been asking for this to happen for a while now. We kind of just put away the truck in a storage unit and haven't used it for the past few months. I wanted to use it and I realized that there's a lot of maintenance work that needs to go into it. And before investing that money, I decided to go a little bit all out and just do a full build of this truck. I'll be talking about that later on the video. But let me get right into it. Let's go from the front all the way to the back. Up in the front, we have a C4 hybrid front bumper with the short center grille guard, no winch. For the grill, we have a TRD Pro style grill. Headlights, we have the Spider Auto headlights. For the pods, we have our TacomaBeast amber pods. I love when these are turned on. That amber color that comes out of it is really nice and extremely bright for when we're out on the trail. Let's move on to the side here. We have advanced fiberglass fenders. These were a bit to install. I had to take my sweet time to get them aligned, and even then my OCD still kicks in sometimes because it's not fully aligned. I know it could be better, but definitely with fiberglass you have to take your time, make it a few weekend projects, you know, for the front and the back, and just enjoy the process. You're gonna have to do a lot of alignment, a lot of figuring out by yourself, right? These are not, they don't come perfect from the factory. For the suspension system, we have Dirt King Long Travel. This is giving us a total of 13.5 inches of wheel travel, which is more than enough. It'll make your truck so much funner. It's got iBox springs on a prototype suspension system. It's a 2.5, and I wasn't able to develop that further. Kind of started the project towards the beginning when I started working on this truck. This is kind of like the truck that helped us start the company, and the one that we experimented a lot on, and then we got into overlanding and we put this truck off to the side, and we're gonna bring it back because that's where my passion is. That's what gets my blood pumping. I love the overlanding. I love going exploring and seeing everything, but being able to take this thing out and just revving it and flying through the desert is where my heart is at. So we're gonna definitely build this truck to be a monster, more than what it already is. So suspension, that's where we're at. For lighting, apart from the pods up in the front, we do have a KC Highlights Pro 6 light bar up here. And then for the ditch lights, we have their dual flex pods, really bright. If we move towards the back, we also have advanced fiberglass bedsides. This was a lot easier to install than the front. You have a few options to go with. Here I decided to go with the trophy truck style flare, which is awesome for looks, but then for functionality, you know, it's intended for the tire to really get in there when you're jumping in full compression. Suspension system in the back, it's nothing crazy. It's got a Devers J66. It's intended for no weight at all. And that's exactly what we want to do back here. We don't want to add any weight. Well, at least you can get into that. We could add more weight because it is heavier up in the front. So what I'm trying to say is it's intended for no like overlanding weight. When we're talking about overlanding, you can go with the Devers Expedition series that can hold up to 1,000 pounds because you're trying to really go heavy here. These are nice and loose because you want your suspension system to be nice and soft, right? So disregard what I said about the weight. Shocks are the same as the ones that I mentioned before, so nothing crazy, and that's where I really started thinking. I was, you know, we were moving towards the back. I was like, hey, what are we gonna do here? And when I started thinking deeper and further into it, I'm like, man, I really just want to build my dream truck. Now it's the opportunity. I've waited 10 years. I've been saving for 10 years and the time is here. So we're going to be installing a 4-link on this truck with a trophy truck rear end from Camberg. It's going to be crazy. For wheels and tires, these were not the ones that are originally on the truck. We actually had methods installed, true beadlocks, but I didn't want to bring them into Mexico because I want to have them on another truck, and these were probably going to sell down here. So I kind of just slapped these on. These are some Stealth custom wheels. They're 16-inch. And then for the tires, these are Goodyear Wranglers MTRs. They're 315 by 75. They look really nice on the truck, and I think it's a really nice size for what we're doing with the truck. Again, we're not going to really use them. We're going to sell them eventually and install some other methods that I cannot wait to show you. They're crazy. In the back, we just have aftermarket taillights from Spider Auto. And then let's move towards the front. I'll show you a little bit of the interior. We don't have much going on, and then I'll show you what's inside the engine bay. Here, we're just rocking some Husky liners. And then we have aftermarket seat covers from Classio. I don't recommend these at all. Definitely go with the PRP option. Then we have a Pioneer dash kit up in the front. And that's pretty much it for the interior. Nothing crazy. As you guys saw, this was a pretty fast walk around. This truck has been with me since I was in high school, back when I was 18 years old. And it's kind of been with me all the way until now. It's really hard for me to get rid of it. It's the truck that helped me build TacomaBeast. This is where we've done tons of mistakes, so you guys don't have to. And this is kind of like the truck that has helped me learn a lot of everything that we know now. From there, I just kind of didn't pay attention to it, just ignored it completely, and I don't think that's fair for this truck. We're gonna bring it back to life. We're gonna be doing a whole series on how we build this truck, so make sure to subscribe to our channel. You're not gonna wanna miss that out. And we're gonna go in depth, and you'll be able to follow along through every step of the way. So let's go ahead and show you guys what we have in the engine bay. This was one of the last mods that we did to this truck before we stopped paying attention to it. So here we have a Magnus Supercharger. Love how this thing whines. Love how much power it gave the truck. When we put this truck on the dyno baseline, we were getting 172 horsepower. And then we installed the supercharger, we tuned it, and we got 232 horsepower out of it. So that was a total of 60 horsepower gains. For some of you from the comments on that video, it's not a lot. I felt like it was a pretty significant increase. Horsepower is expensive, fellas. So if we want to go more horsepower, obviously we've got to start doing more things to the engine. But instead of doing that, I did see a lot of you in the comment section saying like, dude, for what you paid for that thing, like, why don't you just install an engine in there? And there was a lot of debate going on where they're like, oh yeah, no, the engine is way more expensive, this and that. So we're gonna go ahead and install an engine. We're gonna take all this out, and we're gonna be installing an engine in this truck, and we'll be able to tell you guys which route is, you know, the different options, whether it's better to go with an engine swap or to just add a supercharger involved from that. So make sure to stay tuned for that. Up in the front, we have a CSF radiator. Yeah, that was an awesome add-on. I really like that. It keeps the engine nice and cool, and definitely needed for the nice hot summer days. So that pretty much wraps it up, fellas, for this truck. I would like to know, what engine would you guys install in this truck? There's been a lot of people wanting us to install a 2J, a lot of LS3 options out there, LS7, I don't know. Which engine would you install in this truck? Let us know in the comment section down below. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that like button. It really helps out the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.